canister or handheld torch. If you ever wondered if you should go for a handheld torch or a corded canister light, let me explain to you in this video what are the advantages and disadvantages of both torches. Hi, my name is Laura, and if you don't know me, I am a scuba diver. I'm based in Switzerland, so everywhere I dive, it's basically a night dive, after the first 20 meters at least. So having a good torch is for me essential. I've tried handheld and now also canister lights, and I'm here to tell you the difference between them and maybe help you with your next purchase. For several years I've been using, my whole life until a few years ago, I've been using a handheld torch, something like this that you just hold in your hands when you dive. Now, it's a really beautiful torch and it works really good, but this is definitely now my preferred choice. In general, you will also need a hand to keep this, but compared to a handheld torch, instead of holding it, put it on your hand and still use the hand to do something else. Now it's a bit larger because I usually wear dry suit gloves. Oh, yes, also in summer, I know. As I said, it's different condition from what you're probably used to, but if I put my hand with the dry suit gloves, usually I can stick it in like this and the torch doesn't move anymore. So I just have it on my hand the whole time, and I could use my hand to clip stuff or do whatever kind of exercise I need to do. Now, this is of course the first advantage of this Goodman handle, that yes, you could also put on something like this. But here comes the difference. You cannot feel it, of course, but you're gonna have to trust me on this. This one is much lighter. You would have the weight completely on your hand. And now I know in the water you feel it less, but trust me, you're gonna notice it, especially after long dives. So having all the weight, because the battery is also inside, you have everything in this torch, right? Even if you put a Goodman handle here, putting it on your hand will definitely be heavy during a dive. This you don't have here. Because you have a separate battery in this canister, the torch itself is much lighter to have on the hand. And now it's true, the weight needs to be somewhere, but it's in the canister. So instead of having it on the hand, that it's tiring for your muscles, but it's also bad for your trim, you have it on your waist, actually on the other side. So now you have the weight on your side and not on your hands. In general, because you're allowed to have a much bigger battery than you would have here, you see the difference. The burn time is much higher. It's ideal if you're doing longer dives or technical dives, but also if you're just a recreational diver who likes to go on night dives or need a certain amount of burn time or just wants to look cool. Even if on handheld torches it really varies from model to model, but you can have a moderate to high output. On a canister light you will have a very high brightness. Actually, all of the ones I've seen so far, and I've seen a couple of models, have different levels of intensity that you can choose. While I love diving with this, I do see that there are more components, which means there is more risk of damage, and it can be a bit more complex to use compared to something that you just take, turn on, and that's it. Because it's much simpler, of course, the cost could be much lower. There are way too many options, but if you buy something like this, you're gonna have to consider it's gonna be an investment. Yeah, they are more complex, but in the end, as soon as you know how to turn it on and off and adjust the beam angle, that's it. It's a torch. You cannot do much more. This is my Halcyon Focus 2 corded canister light. I loved diving with it. I went trying it. I'm gonna share a video about it very soon. And I hope I helped you understand why canister lights are important for divers and how they actually work. So if you're looking for a dive light, bye bye.